Wish you the absolute best, Chief.
Yes.
Is it leaving already?
No, we got to run
my
the...
package. Uniform stuff.
All right, thanks.
I was just going to catch you up with all the permits, but when you're done with your, I'll come back in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow.
That might be better.
Not important.
That might be better. You know why? Because we'll be behind Clyde. I was in Eskişehir, but I haven't been there in so long. But I have relatives there. You want a family photo? No, that's me, my brother, and my father.
Oh, okay. What about, do you have like any picture when the news purpose, but just full of respect.
She was a tough woman.
Yeah.
Work on that later. Thank you very much. We have about 8 fallen heroes, and we have an actual hallway dedicated. These are some of our fallen heroes.
This may not be officially recognized, but
Yes.
there was an article in the local paper. Otherwise, we were going to say, the first chief, and that would be good. But
Whatever we need, he's here.
I have to help.
That's right. And I do need help, son. Whatever she wants, she gets. And there's an officer behind you. She's hiding. Her name is Ursi Velez. We do have some relatives, but I haven't been in touch with them.
but they know you are here.
They do know, because we do have some of our Karachev family members and our friends that occasionally, when they go to Turkey, they'll also stop in Russia. I was a sergeant at the time, so that had to be, who knows, 25 years ago. We came from in my opinion, a great family, and it was expected for me to go to college. And I did go to college, and I did graduate. I've got my degrees. But
Boston, Rutgers?
I started at Boston University. I spent a year there. It was expensive. And then I transferred to the State University, Rutgers. And then after a few more years, I received a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and also a bachelor's degree in business administration. And it was then that I started working. There was a year when I was in Paterson that I got involved in a fight. And this was my first experience or run-in with the police. And I felt I really wasn't treated fairly. So that spurred my interest in law enforcement. And I took the test. I did well. And one day, the mayor at the time, Mayor Frank Graves, he calls me into his office. And for most of my 32-year career, it was I worked primarily on the street in the patrol division. So I got quite a bit of experience working in a large city and the various types of jobs you could imagine. So in the meantime, when it was time to take a test, I studied hard. And I was fortunate, maybe somebody upstairs was looking out for me, right? And I did well, and by the luck and by the grace of God, I was eventually, this position became available. And I interviewed for it, and here I am. You try to treat everyone fairly.
Sure.
There are some areas in the law where you have no discretion, where you have to do your job, unfortunately. And some areas where you could give them a little break, like a minor motor vehicle violation. But my memories of Paterson with the Turkish and Karachi community, especially in my youth, were very fond. The Turkish community and the Karachi community, and they consider themselves one, by the way.
Right.
So I will refer to them as the Turkish community. When we first moved here in the early '60s, they were very, very close. They would have picnics together. They would have, when there's weddings, everyone would be invited. They would cook their own food. So you would have the ethnic cultural food from Turkey. And it was a pleasure, because that's where we spent our time, spending time with our relatives, and especially the holidays, the Kurban holiday, Ramadan holiday. In the Turkish culture, you respect your elders. And everyone respected my grandmother, Hasanat. So whenever we had the holidays, they began preparing days in advance. They'd have to cut a lamb.
Immigrant people in the U.S. or even Turkish people in overseas in Turkey, because they see you now as a...
My grandmother and grandfather from my father's side, they were from Caucasus. And they migrated and eventually settled in Turkey. And to get back to the book, that Quran belonged to my grandmother, and I watched her every day read it. So.
I understand.
Okay.
ALATURKAonline.com